Yes. Configuring SQL servers here, like basically we know configuration is nothing but what? Making the necessary changes. Right? Why? Because after installing SQL Server, remember, immediately we can't make the server as a production server. Right? We need to make some necessary changes. That is called configuration. Okay? Making necessary changes is nothing but what? Configuration. Okay, right. So configurations here, like remember, it is compulsory activities here, configuration. So same thing, generally we have seen, we'll purchase some house, we'll purchase some vehicle. Immediately we can't make it as a production server, right? I mean, generally we can't start living, right? First we have to configure properly, which is there, which should be there in which place, everything we have to configure first. After configuring properly, right, then we can start using. Same thing, remember, after installing SQL Server, we need to uh, make some necessary settings like memory configurations. Okay, all those settings we have to do. After making necessary settings, then we can start working with the servers here. Okay, that is called your configuration, making necessary settings like configuring memory, configuring like data file, log file locations, configuring backup folder path, configuring port numbers. All this comes under your configuration. In real time, remember, we have configuration checklist is there in real time. Checklist is there. By using that checklist, we have to configure SQL servers here. Means what? They will share us one checklist. In the company we have one checklist, is it? According to the checklist we have to do configuration. Just remember, configuration is compulsory activity. It is one of a regular activities here after installation. This it is called as what? Post installation steps. These are called as what? Post installation steps, nothing but configurations. Okay, right, right. Check here, like what are the common configuration steps are there. Before that, sir, what are the benefits are there? Why we have to configuration? Yeah, configuration checklist. Remember, we will design actually our infrastructure team plus our team will have the configuration. Means as a designer, so I will create the configuration checklist. I will provide it to the DBS who are going to install SQL Server. Okay, right. Why? Because generally, remember, installation and configuration is done by our L1 team. Okay, so that's why we have to provide a document, configuration document as a designer. Then they can start configurations. Right. Yes. Check here, like what are the various benefits are there with configuration? Benefits of what? Configuration. First one, say different SQL servers may have different configuration needs. So requirements depends on how these servers may be used. Okay, right. So what are the major advantages are there? Here, performance benefits will get here. With proper configuration, here we are getting performance benefits we are getting. In the same way, we can minimize the downtime. We can minimize the downtimes here. Okay, regular downtime scenarios we can minimize. Unexpectedly database down. Okay, those server down, those scenarios we can minimize. We'll get better security. We can reduce IR tickets. Here, IR tickets are nothing but what? Incident request tickets. IR tickets are nothing but incident request tickets. What it's meaning? IR tickets are called here production issues. In production server, something happened. We can troubleshoot those problems that comes under here IR tickets. Generally, CR tickets are there here. CR tickets are there, change request tickets. IR tickets are there, incident request tickets, which are production issues. Okay, just we have to understand here, this installation and configurations comes under which type of ticket? Installation and configurations. Yeah, yes, Kishore, no problem. Installations and configurations comes under which type of ticket? Anyone? Murthy, Srikanth, Srikanth. CR ticket or IR tickets, installing SQL Server and configuring SQL Server. Yeah, correct. CR tickets. Why? Because change request ticket, right? If anything's here, any installations are there, configurations, patching, all this comes under here CR tickets, change request tickets. Okay, right. So yeah, IR tickets are there, production issues. Means what? Tomorrow database is down unexpectedly. Okay, server crash unexpectedly, network problem is there. All this comes under here IR tickets, incident request tickets, sorry, incident request tickets, IR tickets, IR. Understood, right? Yeah, that is like IR tickets are there, incident request tickets are there here, which are production issues. That's why remember all these type of tickets we can minimize here. Basically, IR tickets we can minimize with proper configurations. Proper configurations here. Right. So, okay. Yes, that's why configuration is very, very important for us. Next year, like one is like important improvement in troubleshooting and root cause analysis. Means RCA here, troubleshooting can be done easily, and RCA root cause analysis also we can do easily here with proper configuration. Okay, that's remember proper configuration is very, very important for us. Then managing maintenance becomes easy for us, and these are the common configuration options are there sir, in general. In most of the servers here, these are the common configuration activities. One is here like verifying installation. In general, remember after installing SQL Server, we can verify whether the installation was done successfully or not. Verifying what? Installation. Already we know we can verify installation by using what? Summary.txt file. We can verify the installations here. Okay, we can verify the installation by using summary.txt file. So here I will show you. Go to means anything here, installations, configurations, means installations, patching, upgradations, uninstallations. Everything here we can verify by using this by using here summary.txt file. Summary.txt file. Okay, right. So that is like check it. This summary.txt file is there here. See in default location. C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Check here. C program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Yeah, 140 or 150 means our current version is 2019, right? That's why 150. Under that here setup bootstrap log. Here see summary.txt file is it. In this summary.txt file, we can do here configurations. We can check here, see whether the not configurations, we can check whether the installation success or fails here. Final result passed, it is saying requested action patch. Maybe latest they have applied some patch actually, that's why it is showing patch. That's why anything's here. It may be patching or so it may be like installations, uninstallations, everything is recorded here in this file, summary.txt file, we have to understand. Okay, anything is recorded in summary.txt file. Here we can verify whether the installation was success or fail. If the installation failed, we can see here what is the exact reason why the installation failed. Depends on the reason, we can plan for troubleshooting. We can plan for troubleshooting. Okay, right. One second. Yes. Yeah. Check here like yeah. In general, we have seen for every time whenever we run the setup, automatically say two folders are created. Installation start time, installation finish time automatically. Okay, right. So in that also remember we can see the summary.txt file is there. See? Okay. So here see final result passed, it is saying requested action install, it is saying. See installation start time, finish time. Okay, in the last class here, 30th on Friday, we have seen this installation. Check here like you can see here like which instance, what is the instance name, complete details we can see here. Okay, so with what name we have installed here, test SRV1, in which path we have installed, that complete details are there. Just remember in the interview, they will ask if the installation failed, how we know exactly what is the exact reason why the installation failed. Yes. Okay. Right. So, okay. Yeah. Uh, okay. Then you're verifying instance folders and services. Every time whenever we install SQL Server, automatically remember, we'll get this instance. Every instance has its own folders. Every instance has its own folders, as well as every instance has its own services. Right at the beginning also we have seen. Every instance has its own folders and its own services. Right. So then check here like we can see right how to check the folders. Just right click on instance name. Okay. Yeah. Previous day we have last we have installed here one instance with the name testsrv1. Testsrv1. So yeah. So testsrv1 is it. So just here I have connected successfully. Okay. Yes. Yes. Check here. Yeah, we have created one sample database. Now remember, I want to see in which path we have installed this instance. I want to see. Right click, properties, root directory here, see. Okay, so here we can see the path actually, instance installation path. We can go to that path. Here see some subfolders are there. By default, remember whenever we install SQL Server with database server with complete features, we can see 8 subfolders are created here. This is here like test SRV1. Test SRV1 is our main folder. Okay, in that MS SQL. Yeah. So next here we have this subfolders here. Subfolders are there. Right. So check here like backup is there. Backup is the default folder for backups we have seen. Means what? Whenever we take backup of database, automatically backups are generated into these folders here. Backup folder. Click here, new query, just for testing purpose. Later we'll see in detail what is backup everything. Check here, backup database name, any database to disk is equal to some file name. Just remember directly I'm mentioning file name, but in which path the backup should be written, right? So we are not mentioning the complete path here, right? We are not mentioning the complete path here. Okay, so yeah, that's why remember like we are not. That's why by default remember like it is written here by default. This backup is recorded into which folder? Backup folders here. Backup folder. Check here. Let's say this file is created in what? Default folder, backup folder. Okay. Here success it is saying, but check here if I go to backup, here see file is there. Just now it was generated successfully. Let's remember like this is the default folder for backups. We have to understand default folder for backups. But remember we can customize actually, no need that compulsory we have to use this folder. We can customize also. We can customize also, no need to use this folder. Okay, how we can customize? If want, we can customize also. Let's say I want to make this folder here, the backups. This folder I want to make as default folder. Okay, this folder I want to make as what? Default folder. So let's say we can change the path here. See, while installation we can change, or after installation also we can change the path. Check here, instance properties, database settings. Here see we can change this path. Okay. So check here, let's say browse the backups. Okay. See here. Now remember whenever we are taking backup without mentioning complete path, backups are written into this folder. Backups are written into this folder. Check here. Okay. Yes. Now here if I run this command again, go to this folder. Yeah, backups are generated here. Like this, like we can customize the backup folder path at any time. Just remember, backup is nothing but one copy. Don't we'll see later in detail. Backup is nothing but what? One extra copy. Okay. Yes. Extra copy. Backup is nothing but extra copies here. Okay. So that's like yeah. we'll see later. Yeah, we'll see later what is the backup exactly. Complete internals of backups, everything we'll see. But just we have to understand why, because tomorrow if the database crash, we can get the database from this file. That is the purpose of backup. We have to understand. Okay. Okay. So like once again. Yeah, same things here. Data file, log file, locations also we can customize. By default, remember our database files are created in these folders here, data folder. Before that, remember, bin and install are called software folders. Bin and install are called software folders here. Understood, right? Yeah. So means what? Like whenever we uninstall SQL Server, these files are deleted. These two folders are deleted. Whenever we apply some service pack or hotfix, remember, those changes are applied to these two folders. Understood, right? Yes. Yes. That's like we have to understand here. Means what? Whenever we submit this command is processed by using the files of which folder? Bin folder, binaries folders here. Instance binaries are there here in this folder. Okay. Next here, like data folder already we have seen, whenever we create a new database. Okay. Whenever we restore a database from existing backup, automatically remember database files are created into this folder, data folder. Okay. Data folder is the default location for database files. So here I will create one new database, SchoolDB. Okay. Okay, database is created. Check here, go to data folder. See here, SchoolDB data file, log file. Just now it was created. Just remember, default folder for database files is data. Default folder for database files is what? Data. Data. Okay, but remember, like here. Microsoft is recommending always best practice instead of maintaining both the files, data file, log file in same location. Microsoft is recommending you maintain the files in different location. Data files in one path, log files in another path. What is the reason? Different location. What is the reason? Why? Because data files one location, log file another location. Why? Because see, yeah, space related issues we can minimize. Data files in D drive, log files in E drive, for example. Right? Space related issues we can minimize. Second one's here, like IO is divided. Some IO here, some IO here. Input output is divided. Second one. Second major benefit. Right? We'll get better performance here. Okay, space related issues we can minimize so that data file will not become full, log file will not become full immediately. Performance benefits will get by storing the data, by storing the database files into different drives. The third advantage is there here. Third advantage is that we can, what is the third advantage? Data loss scenarios also we can minimize. Data loss scenarios. Right. These are like various benefits are there with why we have to maintain the database files in different drives. Yeah. In general, remember in every database, remember two types of files are there, data file and log file. We'll see next module in detail, but just remember first every change made to the database is recorded into log file first. Just remember, every change made to the database is recorded first into log file. After some time, these changes are written into data file permanently. Initially, changes are written into a log file. After some time, those changes are written into data file permanently. Clear, right? Yes, yes. So we'll talk about later where actually in data file permanently data is there, but initially data is recorded into log file first. No, anyone, every change. Suppose let's say I'm inserting the record. First it is stored in the log file. Okay, someone is updating the record. It is stored in the log file. Someone is deleting the record. It is stored in the log file. Okay, first remember every change made to the database is recorded in what? Transaction log file. We have to understand. Every change made to the database is recorded in what? Transaction log file. Okay, right. After some time, these changes are written into data file permanently. But first changes are recorded into log file up to some time. After that, they are written into data file permanently. Then they are removed from log file. Why? Because in data file, actual data is there, right? 10 GB, 20 GB, 30 GB. If every change is written directly into data file, then performance problems will get, right? Yeah, maybe data file also made damage sometime. These are like various issues are there. That is the reason we have to understand here, like, yeah, compulsory remember, like first changes are written into data file, log file, later they are written into data file permanently. Okay, right, right. Mm. Okay, this is like understood, right? Basic information, basic, just what is what I'm discussing. Later we'll see in detail. Got some brief idea. Mukesh and Varaprasad was asking. First, initially every change, it may be insert, update, delete, or recorded. After some time, like say 10 insertions are there, at a time all are recorded into data file. For example, it's what instead of 10 IOs, here 10 IOs, here only one IO, input, output. Okay, that's why remember initially every change is written into log file. Later those are written into data file permanently. Clear, right? Is clear? Okay, permanently data is there in data file only, but initially changes are written into log file. Right. We'll see in our third module again in detail. Right. Yeah. So okay. Check it. That is see. But what is the best practice Microsoft is recommending? Don't maintain both the data file log files in same location. Always it is better to maintain in what different locations. Okay? Data file in one location, log files in another locations here. Always best practice. Understood, right? All people, if any simple queries are there, please feel free to type. Don't worry. If any simple doubts are there, please feel free to type. If any simple doubts are there, no need to worry. Okay, right, right, right. So check here like now. Uh, yeah, yeah. Next here, like we can customize here. How we can customize? Let's say I want to, in my folders here, in my laptop, we have two drives, D and S drive. So I want to create data files here. I want to store the data files here. See, in DMSSQL data folder. Log files I want to store in the SMSSQL log folder, for example. Okay. So we can customize here. How we can customize? Right click, properties, okay. Database settings, same thing. Here we have changed, right? Backup folder path. Yeah, same thing we can change here. Now we have changed backup folder path. Here also we can change same. Right, right. So now, how we can change here? Now we are changing here, we can modify here. See, let's say data file should be stored in DMSSQL. Any location, just we have to understand different location. Data log file should be created here. See, in different drive. Yes, MS SQL log. Here, different drive. Data files in one location, log files in another locations here, different drive. Okay. Right, right. So now check here. After modifying this path here, okay. So now whenever we create a new database or whenever we restore a database, automatically data files are created here, log files are created here. Understood, right? Yes. But remember, default backup folder path we can change immediately, it is affected. But if I change data file, log file locations, remember, immediately it is not affected. We have to restart the server one time. See here, clear, right? Yeah, we have to restart the server one time. Okay, right, right. So that is yeah, understood, right? What is the, how we are changing, how we are customizing the data file, log file locations. We have to understand, clear, right? Okay, yes. So backup folder path we can change. We can change the data file, log file locations. Backup folder path we can change, as well as what? We can change the data file, log file locations here by taking same instance properties. For backup folder path, remember, no need to restart the server. But for data file, log file locations, if want to change, we have to restart the server. Okay, yes, right. Yeah, yeah. Why? Because still it is not production server, right, Mukesh? We are making this as a production server. Still it is not production, right? Pre-production activities, all these are correct, right? Even you change in the later, even you change like this in later, we have to restart only compulsory. Okay, 1 minute. Clear, right? These are pre-production activities. Before making the server as a production server, we are making all these settings. Okay, right, right. Yeah. Uh, okay. Okay. This is like how we can, yeah, how we are making changes. So let's say, see, if you are not restarting the servers here, again, our database files are created in same path only here, data folder only. That's why once we restart the instance, then only path is affected, path is modified. Okay. Once we restart the instance, then remember path is modified. Right. Okay. 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 Restarted successfully. Now we can change the paths here. Okay. Now the path is updated. Now whenever we create a new database, check here, the database is created in this new path. See here, this new path. That's why remember, like we have to understand here, like yeah, by default, remember, like data file, log file, access denied, something it is saying. Okay, by default, remember, data file, log file, data file, log files are created in which folder? Data folder. But always we have to yeah, we have to mention here in different locations. Files should be maintained in what? Different locations. Okay. Sometimes here, like it is saying access denied. After changing the path, it is saying access denied. Means what? See here, access denied on which files? DMS SQL data. That's why we have to remember, we have to grant actually read write permissions. We have to grant actually on this folder. Okay. So read write permissions. Yeah, 1 minute. Right. Thank you. Check it like this is how we are configuring say data file log file location. Understood it? This error we are getting here. One of a common error. We have to understand this error also important error. Access denied it is saying, right? Understood it? Access denied. What is the meaning of access denied? See, on which file DMS. That's remember important point, very important point as a DB. So whenever we are changing the path like this here, on this path, on this new path, remember, on this new path, we have to grant read-write permissions actually. On this path, we have to grant what? Read-write permissions. Okay, important points here. If I go to this path now, okay, back to data, right click on data folder, properties. See here, security, edit, add. Actually, we have to grant to service account. We'll see later. Just I am saying E. Check names, E for everyone. Check names, okay. Full control, apply, continue. Yeah, so many files are there. Means it takes some time, but continue. Okay. Okay. So here, once we grant the permission, it is asking for all files. Initially, we can create a fresh folder. On that fresh folder, if I grant permission, it will not ask. Means on the existing files also, it is granting actually. So once you grant permission on this folder, remember, then remember it allows, yeah, it can, SQL Server can access this path. By default, SQL Server is saying access is denied. It is saying that I can't access, it is saying. So that's why we have to grant the permissions here on this folder. Here once again, properties, security. Yeah, everyone. Just here, edit, add, E. Check names. In production, we can't grant everyone. Later we'll see. Okay. Full control. Okay. Okay. After granting permission, now I am saying again okay. See? Okay. Still it is saying same problem. Access denied. Means like yeah, still it is saying like on which folder. Now it is saying on log folder. Previously it was saying on data folder, right? We have granted permission. Log folder is there on in which drive? Yes drive. Yes, MS SQL. Right click. Security. Edit. Add. Same things here. E. Check new. Okay. Full control. Apply. Yeah, same things here, like so many files are there here. Just say okay. Okay. Now, sir, I have granted permission on both the folders. Once again, I am saying okay. See here, created successfully. Now, this database files are there. Sir, if I take database properties files, sir, database files are there in data folder. Data files are there here. Log files are there in S drives here. D drive, S drive. Understood, right? Yes. Yes. This is like we have to understand here how the changes we can make, how we are changing the database file paths here. All the three here, backup folders here, go to database settings, data folder, log folder, backup folder paths we can modify here. Actually, remember while installing itself we can modify. While installation itself we can modify actually, but later also we can modify here. Okay, after installation also we can modify here. For backup folder path, no need to restart the server, but for data file, log file locations, we have seen we have to restart the server one time. Clear, right? Yes. Just remember, after installation, just we have started with the post installation steps or configuration steps. Okay, check here. Verifying installation, we have seen verifying instance folders and services, configuring data file, log file locations, configuring backup folder path, we have seen. Okay, we'll continue from here, configuring error logs. Okay, that tomorrow's class.